Finally back with factory singles. Missed yesterday's stream because I was busy editing, but no excuse today. I can play today. And I'm going to pick up the shorter streak. I'll probably alternate between these two, I think. The level 50 and open level. Obviously, if I lose a streak, I'll probably play the other streak whenever I'm feeling good, and I'll play back from 0 whenever I'm feeling a bit tired or out of it. So we're at 84. We're not on a Noland round, it's just a standard round. So let's see what the factory has for us. No type, high risk. Okay, that's very common. Quiet. I know. I have reservations about Warrain 4. I think quiet on... Like, it's a really unfortunate speed tier to be at 83 instead of 90, in my opinion. I think Warrain 4 loses out on quite a lot. That said, it's a Warrain. I'm not unhappy about it. If I have to take Warrain 4, I'm not too displeased. Okay, we've got Dojo 2. Recently, Dave Glorbus had a stream where we talked briefly about if Dojo 2 or Dojo 3 is better. Dojo 2 is Protect, but Dojo 3 is Lumberry. They both do very similar things, really. There's not much difference. It's a fast double-edged button. It's quite polarizing. It's a very nice option in the back, though, for a speedy switch-in. Muted but hanging out, no worries. We've got the interesting Meganium free. I think... Well, I go back and forth on how good Meganium free is. I mean... Endure Flail is a lot better at level 50. No Tyranitar, of course. But Meganium doesn't really have the base attack to pull it off, and without Stab on Reversal or Flail, I'm not really sure how much point it makes. On the other hand, Meganium 3 is a fast, functional grass type, which is quite rare in the Frontier. Okay. There's a case to be made that this is the worst Latias. I'm not completely sure if that's correct. Latias 7 is still very bulky. Max HP, max defense. This thing takes hits. Unfortunately, it doesn't hit back very hard, and unfortunately, it also occupies a bit of an awkward speed tier where it's slower than some of the invested base 90s and 100s. It's not ideal. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. Not base 90s. This is free Ivy, I gotta remember. But the base 100s. 137, 138 critical speed tiers that outrun Latias. Okay, and we have Heracross 2. Now, Heracross 2 is it's a strange creature. This is no attack Heracross, but weirdly, at 31 IVs, I feel like Heracross 2... Well, it's not Heracross 3 or 4. I feel like Heracross 2 is probably a bit underrated by a lot of people because you don't really need the attack. You really, really appreciate the speed. The speed is really nice. Obviously, Jolly makes it even better. But yeah, we have fast Megahorn Earthquake. The downside of Heracross 2 is that you are relying quite a lot on the Megahorn button. It is scary to miss it. Okay, and we have Lapras 7. Lapras 7, what ability are you? I want it to be Shell Armor. It is Shell Armor. That is an interesting option. So for those not familiar, Lapras 7 is a sort of tank god. It is very difficult to kill this. Yes, it's an Oko set, but on the other hand, it's like, if you live all the hits, does it even matter? Does it even matter if you if you miss every single attack? Yeah, interesting draft. None of these Pokemon are bad. This is hard. I think Meganium 3 might be out. It's probably the worst of these. And I can't take Walrein and Lapras. There's too much type overlap there. I don't want to be too vulnerable into specifically Aerodactyl. That is something I'm actively considering. Particularly scared of Aerodactyl 2. It is high risk. Not very likely to have Aerodactyl 2 show up. I don't need to worry too much about the first match, though. This is probably going to be a team that doesn't swap out. Oko gameplay. We might be using Lapras. This is more of a stall Pokemon than an Oko set, but it is quite funny to use this. It seems to be a little bit careful about being slower, but it's not quite the issue it might seem. I think I'm taking Heracross. I'm not sure what to lead. If I can decide to lead, that might help guide me a bit more. I'm half thinking about leading Dodrio with Protect. I also don't want to be too vulnerable to Electric. I'm wondering whether or not I actually take Lapras, because I could go Dodrio, Heracross, Latias. I'm a little bit weak to Ice then, but Ice is kind of a fake weakness in Gen 3. It's a very fast team. I don't want to discount Walrein and Lapras. I just think because they're slow, they're vulnerable to things like Confuse Ray. And I think I can get away with a much dumber team. I'm a bit worried about the water type matchup as well. I'm also thinking about the Heracross lead. I don't think I like it as much as Dodrio, though. I'm never leading Lapras or Walrein. I don't like the Heracross lead. I don't like the Latias lead as well. I think that's a tiny bit passive. I think I'm going Dodrio. Yeah, I think I'm going Dodrio. I think if I'm going Dodrio, I'm probably almost always taking Heracross, Latias. I think doubling up on electric weakness in the factory is a really bad idea. Okay, let's go then. Gee, let me first double. I am early bird. I am early bird and guts, which is probably the abilities I want. I'm a super Pokemon hero. Rolando. Nidoking. Unfortunately, high risk Nidoking means Nidoking 1. Nidoking 3 can also partially activate it. Little bit awkward. Its counter isn't very likely, but I'm a bit aware of it. Pretty aware of Blizzard as well. I don't think I'm losing anything by using Protect. And it will tell me to set, very, very likely. Open my eyes. Mega Kick. It is Nido King 2. That is a surprise. Huh. I think I stay in anyway. Like, I haven't got great prospects by switching. It does have Shell Bell. I don't think it's going to matter for the 2-shot on Drill Peck. I've got a very fast team. I'm not too worried about being crit here. I would rather not be crit, of course. Miss is much better than that, though. No reason to take recoil. Like, I can half consider going Heracross and using Bulk Up. I really don't like the fact of, like, throwing away the advantage on a crit. So, no high risk yet. Okay, so Steelix high risk, unfortunately, does likely mean Steelix 4. Double Edge Explosion. I'm thinking again, I might as well use Protect. The worst thing that could happen on that is I give Steelix 2 a chance to use Sandstorm. I would rather not do that, but I don't think I care very much. It's a very, very small punish. And I want to know who should be switching in and what they be switching into. Rockslide. Okay, so it's Steelix 3. Which means the final Mon also has a high-risk move. That's good to know. The value of saving Dodrio, I think it's quite high. I get the outspeed on a lot of high-risk sets with Dodrio. I think it's probably worth keeping alive. It probably is Latias. What I'm probably going to be doing is Latias is probably going to be exploded on. That seems incredibly likely. It would either be that or I switch and I attempt the bulk up. So it would probably be a single bulk up into double earthquake. Or would it be switching in triple earthquake? I mean, the problem with going Latias is I'm not sure about the earthquake free shot on Steelix. It might be better to go Heracross actually. Heracross is a bit more vulnerable to being crit though. If I go Latias, I at worst enter a 2 versus 1. There's quite a few Pokemon I can actually eliminate. The fact that Steelix won the switch indecision. Very unlikely the final Pokemon has a super effective move into Dodrio. Obviously that makes me want to switch even more. But it also means if there was a tied decision, it's quite valuable to probably have Earthquake in my back pockets. And that doesn't really narrow it down. Like, obviously Heracross and Latias are both fine in that scenario. I guess Heracross probably a bit more likely to be useful since it's faster and has a stronger Earthquake. Yeah, I am thinking I'm just going Latias here. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, that's easy. I could consider the Swagger here as well. I'm just nervous about giving Steelix +2 when it has a Quick Claw and has a flinch move. Okay, there's the paralysis. That is annoying. I don't want Latias to be set up bait for the final Pokemon. Of course, high risk doesn't usually track with any kind of setup moves. Like, there are a few setup Pokemon that also have counter. It's not really a thing, though. I almost hope that Latias gets hit quite low. It might not be bad for Explosion to happen either. This is the most likely turn for it to use Explosion, of course. Yeah, okay. That's fine. As soon as it got the paralysis, that was fairly likely to happen. Okay, so it's a high-risk Gengar, which means it's a Destiny Bond Gengar, right? Are there any other moves? Not seeing any. No, it's a Destiny Bond Gengar, so it's 4, 7, and 8. None of those have a Hacks item, so let's just kill it. I don't think I'd ever take Gengar. Free IV Gengar, I think it was it's a trap often. If I'd be taking it, I'd only be taking it for Destiny Bond. I'd probably be taking it for a Backmon Gengar resist switch in for Destiny Bond kind of scenario. I don't think I'm improving my team by taking a Gengar here. Choice. Blastoise. Interesting. Okay, so 2, 3, and 4 a bit less likely because they have a high risk move. They all have counter coat. It is possible there's no high risk in the back, but not terribly likely. I feel like Blastoise 1 is probably the most likely Blastoise. Probably want to be dodging Torrent. That's my major consideration. I probably should also be using Protect. Let's have a look at Blastoise 1 on the Weather AI, though. Because I don't love giving it... No, it's not broken because I'm faster. I don't love giving Blastoise 1 a Rain Dance turn. At the same time, if Rain Dance does go up, I can go Latias. There's probably no Water type in the back. This is probably the only Water type on the team. So I probably would be looking to preserve Dodrio in that scenario. I underestimated how tired I was. Guess I'm just telling them tonight. Okay, so it did pump. It's possible that it's 1. The thing is, 2 likes to use Mirror Coat. It's probably 1, actually. Not that I play very differently into either one. What's important is it is not Blastoise free. I can't be countered. I might want to double edge because of Shellbell. However, if I do get crit by Blastoise, I'm probably using bulk up anyway on Heracross, so I don't think it matters too much. I'm a bit worried about going Latias. I'm a bit worried about being hit by Seismic and Bite. And I don't kill very quickly. I think I have to get crit. Okay, it is Blastoise 2, and I did way more damage than I expected. Let's do that calc. I'm interested to know whether or not I have to use drill peck again. Or I can restart that sentence. I'm curious on whether or not I have to use double edge. I am Dojo 1. No, I'm Dojo 2. Dojo 2. $48 to $56. Okay. That's more than I thought I would do. I quite like just using double edge though. Getting low on HP isn't even necessarily a bad thing. I reduce the chance of certain things using Calm Mind or Dragon Dance when they switch in. Ursaring, but we are not high risk, which does narrow this down quite a lot actually. So it's, what is it, 3-5, just 3 and 5, just 3 and 5, yeah. Thanks, Ike. No worries. So it has to be Ursaring 3 or 5, or hopefully it's 3. It does make Protect literally 3. I will know for certain. I am not scared of any kind of bulk up. Let me double check. There is no setup move, which is on a high risk set. There is not. Okay. Okay, so we're choice banned. My gut feeling is the Heracross Latias 2 versus 1 is going to be very dominant, particularly because I know there's no water in the back and there's no normal in the back, which does eliminate a few of the things I'd be a little bit concerned about. I guess my greatest fear would be something like Espeon 4 with the Bright Powder and the super effective bite into Latias. There are definitely Pokemon I'd want to keep Dojo in against. But, like, if I switch here, something's probably dying. I could go Latias and Earthquake and then Revenge with Double Edge. Is that bad? That is better. But Latias can get crit, and then I'm in big trouble, because then it's going to be a Heracross 1v1. Or I'm going to have to go Heracross and bulk up, and then hit the Mega Horn for a 2v1. I don't know. Don't know about that. How about I don't interact with the Ursaring in a way that can lead to Ursaring getting more than one kill? I feel like that's probably better. I could Drill Peck here. Drill Peck and Double Edge crit both kill. And obviously if I Drill Peck, I don't take as much recoil, but I think I'd actually rather be lower in HP. And I'm also thinking that I probably don't want to go Heracross first. I think I'd rather finish this off with... Well, even if I do go Heracross first, I probably want to finish it off with Earthquake. Probably do need the damage from Double Edge then. Crit it. Okay, so last question is, who is going to lead? Could definitely make cases for both. Latias is less offensive, a bit more passive. If the last Pokemon is some kind of setup Pokemon, Latias is a little bit more vulnerable to that. On the other hand, if the last Pokemon is a really bad matchup, I can't really think of what that could be. I do have Swagger. I'd rather Swagger before Heracross comes out, so that they spend more turns potentially self-hitting. I think I also prefer the idea of going Latias first, because how much damage Latias does will inform me on whether or not I need to risk Mega Horn, or if I can just safely Earthquake with Heracross at the end. Whereas if I go Heracross first, I won't know whether or not the Mega Horn damage is necessary. Thanks, Nick. So there's cases for both. I guess Larias probably is better first, just because of the inaccuracy on Mega Horn. It's my feeling. Okay, it's not high risk, so it has to be Donphan 1. Which I want to say should be an easy win. Obviously, I know how this could go very poorly wrong with Ancient Power Boost and Swagger. This is going to be really weird. I have Psych Up as well. If it gets a boost, I'll probably have to switch to Heracross. Wasted Ancient Power PP. Yeah, I think in the short term, just deal damage to it. Let's get rid of the Chesto Berry as fast as possible. There's the Swagger. Big case to be made here for switching. Very big case. I think if I switch or I don't switch, the angle is almost entirely dependent on whether or not I'm scared of the Ancient Power boost. Obviously, even if I waste an Ancient Power here by switching into Heracross and I switch back into Larias, yes, I can't be killed by Ancient Power, but Donphan can still use Swagger. However, I feel like I'm so far ahead that I probably should switch. If I need to risk confusion, I want to do it later, probably. See more variants happen first. Okay, so no boost. It's going to be Swagger or Earthquake. What are the Swagger HP ranges? Bum, bum, bum. Swagger. So if I'm over 70% no score change and terminate, and it has a 50% chance of a score +1, so it's quite likely to Swagger. In that case, and I'm Guts, right? I checked this earlier. Yeah. Just Earthquake, I think. Okay, it doesn't go for Swagger. And I'm now below 70%. I'm also below 51%. Okay, so there's the 50 chance of -1. And then it gets another score, -1. Okay. So it might be at +0, or it might be at -1 on Swagger. Sounds like I can just go Larias, though. Donphan is actually going to probably use Rest, right? It's 60% is the threshold. Yeah, it's going to use Rest, almost certainly. Hitting the Mega Horn would be huge. It's going to Resto Chesto, but if I hit it Mega Horn, then it'll be forced to rest again. My feeling is that I bulk up. It does get a bit punished by an Earthquake crit. However, I will have then hit a +1 Earthquake in the Donphan. I can knock it into rest on the following turn with Larias. Larias is probably getting swaggered on that turn. But I'm guaranteed to be knocking it into rest continually. I'll have to get like 2 or 3 self hits quite soon, probably immediately actually, to avoid Latias doing that to Donphan at +2. In some ways, it would be worse if it didn't boost. The song is Underdog. So yeah, I feel like even the worst case scenario for bulk up is very good. I could also switch. I don't like switching very much though. I think I'm back into the scenario where it's going to use Swagger on Latias. I'm probably going to be switching out of Ancient Power. I'm giving it another chance to boost. I don't like it. Ancient Power boost is a lot more likely than a crit. There's the rest. There's the Chesto Berry. We did good damage there. I'll continue using Earthquake. Okay. Strange team. The Blastoise, Urswing, Donphan. How often would that trigger high risk as a trio? I feel like it would be pretty common. Obviously, that's not how the set selection works in the code, though. It just picks 3 random sets. So it's Psychic with no phrase. That is the Lati phrase. However, I do have Latias. I do have a Shadow Ball Latias. And I do have a 31 IV Latias. All of these are quite good things to have. In some ways, I am more scared of Espeon 4. Metagross also a bit spooky. Like the Starmie matchup is also a bit weird. I don't think I'm taking that though. The Band Urswing is not bad, but I have a pretty solid team. Let me win in return for a present. What is the present? You have to tell me what you're bribing me with first. Okay, it's Espeon. I probably have to immediately just YOLO this. It's a YOLO or it's a switch to Latias. I'm quite far behind if I switch Latias into a Bite Espeon though. I really don't like doing that. And I probably have to go Double Edge because of Espeon 1, yeah. It is a bit harder to play while talking, yeah. But it's fine. I think, and this, other people don't have to do this, I think commentary is another layer of sort of transparency. Because if it's a no commentary stream, particularly in Factory, I could be like doing these like things that look a bit mysterious and it might look a bit dodgy. But when I can explain my plays, I think it's more useful. So yeah, I think I'm just going to Double Edge. The worst thing that can happen by far is obviously a Bright Powder miss. We do not want that to happen. However, if I do get a Bright Powder miss, I'm kind of hoping it uses Psychic and not Calm Mind. I am very concerned about also I'm having to hit a Mega Horn into Bright Powder later. Anything else is completely fine, though. Okay. Big. So all Espeon have the same HP, so our recoil doesn't tell us anything about Espeon. It is Starmie. Unfortunately, Starmie with speed investment is 1 speed faster than Dodrio. Now it's a no phrase on Psychic. I think I can just use Protect, right? Cosmic Power sets have Ice Beam, that's fine. They're not going to use Cosmic Power, basically. Thunderwave is fine to use Protect on. Yeah, I think everything is fine. The question would maybe be over Starmie 5. I might be giving Starmie 5 a free light screen. I doubt it, though. I think Starmie 5 probably sees a kill on me. And if Starmie 5 is going to light screen, like, I don't care, right? I'm probably never using Fate Attack, particularly now that Starmie is out. So yeah, I think I really don't care. Thunder, okay. That's actually very helpful. That is one of the rare moves. Actually tells us exactly what the set is. It's Starmie 2. So the question is, do I throw Dodrio away? Because I can just double edge and revenge. I've seen 2 psychic types. That the final Pokemon could also be psychic, but it doesn't have to be. It can basically be anything. It just can't be a monotype. It can't be a water that isn't also psychic as well. That's the limitation on what it can be in the back. So it can't be Lapras, for example. The fact it can't be water probably makes keeping Dodrio slightly better. I'm just weighing up how upset I would be if I get paralyzed on Latias. I think not that upset. Radioactive. Perfect. How many swaggers? That's an interesting question as well. I feel like greeding it is fine here. Do I go for another swagger? Go up to +6? It's kind of free. Yeah, Starmie actually wants to use Recover now. Okay. I think Skarmory free a little bit less likely because of endurance. There's a good chance that Espeon had an endurance move. Espeon 1, 2, and 3 are all endurance. Recover is endurance on Starmie, so I'm thinking Skarm 3 is probably a little bit less likely. Anything else I would know? Like, Espeon 4 is slow and steady on Attract. So yeah, maybe a little bit less likely to be Skarmory 2. The reason this matters is because I don't really want to be hit by counter. So the question is going to be, is it worth using Swagger? I don't think so. I think giving Skarmory an attack boost sounds really bad. I am kind of in trouble against Skarm 4 anyway, though. Just what you asked for. Hmm. I might want to use Earthquake. It's quite a serious consideration, actually. I don't know. On the other hand, maybe I want to attack into counter anyway. Very awkward with Skarmory 4. Very awkward. I do have Attract as an option with Heracross as well. My intuition is, although I said that stuff about Skarm 2 and 3 being less likely, I do want to attack them, particularly Skarm 3. I do want to attack them. I think I don't have the luxury of burning a turn against Skarmfall. Okay, it's Skarm 1. God, okay. God, this is hard. I'm seriously considering switching out. I think I go Dodrio here. I think if Skarmory 1 counters here, which is quite likely, because I just use a physical move, I'm in quite serious trouble because it's at +2 speed. It's either that, or I really hope that Dodrio wins the speed tie. I think I don't want to put my faith in that. Taste of the taste of the taste. The thing that makes me a bit nervous about switching out the Dodrio, though, is the fact that Skarmory has Scope Lens. Am I underestimating the chance that it just hacks Latias out of the game? I mean, I can go Heracross first. It's got Scope Lens Air Cutter against Heracross, though. I really, really don't think it's Swagger, though. I think it's definitely not Swagger. What is the exact check on agility? Does it check... Like, how does it handle the speed tie? If I switch out... Okay, so the speed tie is considered slower. The user will move before the foe. That is not true on the speed tie. That makes... I feel like that makes going Dodrio quite a lot better. Yeah, it's very likely. Very, very likely to use agility here. I win the speed tie. Okay, it uses counter. That's fine. You're present? What for? That scared me, that Skarmory. Ghost. High risk. High risk, not that rare on Ghost, actually. Obviously, there's Destiny Bond. There's also some double-edged Dusclops action. Parashong is considered high risk as well. Yeah, it's actually not that rare. The thing about Ghost is that there obviously aren't many ghosts. I'm looking at the overlay now. Yeah. So it was the Rain Dance Starmie set. I don't want that. Scarm 1, no thanks. And retroactively, do we know anything about Espeon? I don't think so. Oh, it's not Espeon free. That's it, I think. I don't love Gengar. Got to be really careful about Gengar. I do not want to face Gengar with only Heracross alive. So I need to be looking for opportunities to use Heracross earlier in the match. If it's a Gengar lead, obviously that's fine. Never gone home. Anyway, not taking a... I think it's Gengar and Mischievous. Well, you've actually got a 1/3 chance of guessing it right. It's got to be at least 2 of them. Gengar is the most likely. Gengar's got 8 sets. The others have got 4. So Gengar is a good guess. You go. Altaria. I can't really switch Heracross into an unknown Altaria set. Weirdly, this is most likely to be Altaria 2 because of Perish Song. I can actually go Gengar then. I don't like using Protect because of Dragon Dance. I'm half thinking about going to Latias actually. With the Psych Up line. If I go Latias on Altaria 2, I'm probably not getting the Dream off like it would be amazing Swagger Luck. It has to fail all of the Perishong attempts, and like it also has Attract. Bum, bum. Dragon. Altaria 1? Altaria 4 has Shell Bell. Weird. Okay, so a chance of Destiny 1 Gengar specifically is very high now. Okay, nice. It might be worth using Protect. I'm probably never swapping for Gengar, but... You're out of touch. Yeah, let's see what it is, why not? -1 Protect PP. Psychic. Because I'm in Psychic kill range. Classic. I think it has to be Decibon. I can't think of a single Ghost set with double high risk. There's Dusclops 1 and 4. And Mischievous 1, 3, and 4. because Pain Split is high risk as well. Okay. Unlucky, Dennis. It is not mischievous, which is good news for Heracross being potentially useful. Now, it has to be Dusclops 1 or 4. It was more likely to be mischievous, I think. All the Decimon Gengars are Lum, right? They are. And Altaria was Cherry Berry. Okay. Do I want to preserve Dodrio? Just because I do a lot of damage with Drill Peck. And I don't want to get into Confuse Ray nonsense. Confuse Ray Pain Split nonsense later. Out of touch. I don't think Bulk Up's going to be worth it. It's fine, I've got a Lumberry. It's less fine. If Heracross faints, that's okay. I just want to make sure I deal enough damage that it's either in Drill Peck range or I don't mind going Latias. Okay, perfect. Fire. Not great news for Heracross potentially. The Charizard and Moltres are dominating my immediate thoughts here. It is high risk, high return as well. Okay, that's obviously not unexpected with fire. Overheat triggers it. There's quite a few double-edged sets, and there's a bit of Endure reversal stuff as well. There's also Facade is not rare, and there's Grudge Tails. I mean, Debon Gengar, I've got 3 fights left. I really feel like I don't take it. So Item Clause in Gen 4, it applies to your team, your enemy, and the last enemy, basically. But the enemy from 2 matches ago, that item can come up again. If that makes sense. I really don't think I'm taking Gengar. So it's not the whole round. So it's either, well, it can be 1 and 3, but it's very likely 4, and it can be 2 because of Grudge. Grudge being high risk is very funny. Actually, you know, weirdly, maybe 2 is more likely, just because 4... No, there's no way that 4 that goes that close to being flexibly adaptable. No, it's fine. It's fire. It's probably 4 actually. Probably 4 more likely than 2. Or What is the downside to using Protect? I guess I don't really want Sunny Day to go up. Yeah. Particularly knowing there's a fire type in the back. Yes, my favourite fire type, Zapdos. So they're all going to see a kill, obviously. See, no reason at all not to go for Protect and get a little bit of information. We are almost certainly going Latias. Thunderbolt. Oh, so outside of factory, there's no item clause except on a single team. So the you could face around in the tower or arcade or castle where the same Pokemon shows up in every single fight. It's only factory that applies this thing on item clause between different teams. Okay, so high risk. Just, I don't think it helps me at all. We need to go Latias. We might, maybe even go Heracross, but I think Heracross is fast in enough fires that there's that's sort of like a silly thing to do. I think we'll just go Latias. Okay, so now Zapdos 3 and 4 are going to Thunder Wave me. Zapdos 1 is it's going to do some random stuff. I don't like the idea of swaggering. I just want to deal damage, particularly if 3 and 4 do get a big heal. Okay. Okay, it's Zapdos 3. I think because Latias is paralyzed. I would like to keep it alive. I just really don't want this to use Substitute as I switch. Let's double check the Substitute AI. Yeah, so it's below 50 when Substitute becomes incredibly unlikely. It's got to dodge 6% 3 times. Yeah. It's like a 3% to not get -1 or worse. And it's also got to beat Drill Peck on the tie. Interesting, the confusion part of Substitute does not include Swagger. That's weird. But no, let's hit it. Honestly, probably hitting it 2 more times. Like, it's a waste. It's a waste of Latias's HP a little bit, but I think there are potential endgame scenarios where Latias being alive does matter. It's actually not Moltres in the back because Zapdos is also flying. That's good to know. It's also not Charizard for the same reason. So Earthquake is going to work, basically. I don't know. I'm quite scared of switching into a Drill Peck crit on Dodrio. Okay. Latias dying is actually fine. It might even be a good thing. Yeah, that's fine. Do you like it hurt? Okay, what's the final fire type? Mr. Typhlosion. I think I'm always fine. I don't think Typhlosion 3 can ever use Endure, but let me double check that. You're so mean to cute Pokemon. Psychic, no phrase, classic. But I have Latias. Again, I'm mostly preoccupied by the thought of Espeon. I don't want Espeon to show up again. Zapdos 3 is a somewhat real consideration. Awkward one. Yeah, Effect Swagger is different. Thanks for this. Yeah, Quick Claw fears. I think I just protect. I might be giving Slowking amnesia, but who cares? Psychic. Okay. So it's 1 or 2. It's probably 1 actually because of Thunder Wave. Yeah. I wonder if its own tempo. We're about to find out. Unlucky Slowking. Wrong ability. Give me a reason not to do it. It's free-spirited, so it's not Steelix 4. Oh, Mr. Mime still breaks the overlay because of the dot. Yeah. Classic. Slow and steady. Bum, 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 bum. Slow and steady Fearow. So, Fearow 2 a bit more likely, which does spook me a little bit because of the focus band. Let me have a quick look at Sky Attack. It can't be actually it can't be it, can it? Because it's high risk. It can't be 4 anyway. If it attracts, I'm definitely switching. Try attack. 2 birds, 4 heads. True. So Fearow 1 is Sharp Beak, which means this is more likely to be Fearow 2. Obviously, Slow and Steady encourages that already. I think it was a visual delay, but I seriously thought I triggered Focus Band for a second there. And Espeon. At least that's used up Flying and Psychic. I'm scared of Espeon 4, man. Espeon 4 scares me a lot. Particularly after I saw one of the Zarian streams where it screwed him a little bit. He didn't lose to it, though. At least Heracross is fast. I mean, I'd have to miss twice. I think it's fine. Let's focus band on the first one. I think... I actually don't think I protect Scout. I think Espeon 2 using Calm Mind would be a disaster. In relative terms. Let's not miss. Amazing. Oh no. Oh no. So as everyone knows, the Slow and Steady Gengar is Gengar 1. I guess Gengar 2 also triggers. So if that was Fearow 2... this has to be a Slow and Steady Gengar. It is 1 or 2. It's fine because I'm an early bird. I'm an early bird. It's fine. I believe. Okay, it's Gengar 2. Blah, blah, blah. I had an interesting draft, Dave. I'm not sure if you were here. I had, the team I had Woolrain 4. I had Shell Armor Lapras 7. And what was the last one? Oh, Meganium 3. Yeah. No type, high risk. I might put that into the, I wonder what the team builder in the buddy says about that. I might check that later. Gengar, how exciting. Oh no, it's Adamant. I mean, Gengar 2 is still fast. Not useless. I'm hoping that I don't have to bring this. Okay. I am a big fan of Debond Guard. Quick Claw as well. What could go wrong? That's another very interesting Pokemon. Kingdra 3 always feels a bit awkward to use properly. Like, I'm always a bit scared of being status when I go down. Weirdly, I feel like Kingdra 3 might be better if it was slightly less bulky. Summoning Latios. Okay. I don't like Aerodactyl 1 very much. Gardevoir is Trace. I was a bit worried about Electric if I didn't take Latias. And I was a little bit worried about Waters as well. Well, when I say Waters, it's sort of like the Spit Waters, which are quite rare. I block Lapras for anyway. It could have worked. And Artie. I don't think I've ever used Articuno 1. Obviously, should function similarly to most. Have you ever used specifically this, though? Raw is an interesting option. It is kind of usable in Gen 3, I feel. And we have Mr. Muck. Okay. Interesting set of Pokemon. Gosh. My feeling is... I don't know how I feel about Gardevoir 7 on lead. It can't be that bad. I'm a little bit worried about my physical type chart if I take Gardevoir, Articuno, Mach. Just in terms of the Quick Claw Pokemon with Earthquake and like a strong Rock or a normal move. But Kingdra doesn't help that. Yeah, so maybe I have to hit Dynamic Punch, or maybe the Will-O-Wisp goes in the back. I am a big Muck fan. I feel like the problem with Muck, it should be such a good Pokemon in Gen 3 and Gen 4. Unfortunately, Psychic is a really unfortunate weakness to have. Because there are a lot of really fast, problematic Psychic types. Like, it's a really unfortunate weakness. Some of the fighting types also have a weakness into Psychic, but I feel like the fighting types are a little bit better on at least having a decent matchup into Earthquakers. I feel like Muck gets the wrong end on the stick on both ends of the type category. Mark 2 is very good though. You can sit on a lot of things with rest, and it does hit pretty hard. It's a bit tricky to know what to lead. I can see if I lead Gardevoir, I can see myself thinking in matches that are coming that I would need to have it in the back as a option on D-Bond later, and also as an option, more importantly perhaps, on Will-O-Wisp. But I don't like leading Articuno very much. I mean, maybe it's fine. 137 is a bit of an unfortunate speed number as well. The life of the base 85. I think there's also the fact about Muck is that when you're this slow, you're getting hit first, which means you're more likely to be crit because you get hit more. You're more vulnerable to various nonsense. You're more vulnerable to an enemy using double team. There's more double teamers that can act first. Like, why are you hardy? Adamant wouldn't really save Mark II from It's somewhat problematic fate. I'm kind of wondering about Gengar, but I don't think Gengar 2 is ever going to be it. I'm worried about the chunky physical attackers. I'm thinking about Aerodactyl. I just don't think Aerodactyl 1 is a good Pokemon. What am I? I am Trace on guard, which I feel like is a good thing. Probably have to just swallow it and lead Articuno. Yeah, Gengar 2 has a bit of too much overlap with Gardevoir 7, I agree. Yeah, like, yeah, that's the other part of Poison is somewhat unfortunate offensive typing. Whereas, like, okay, you hit grass super effectively, but congratulations. You're good against grass types. A lot of Pokemon in the factory are good against grass types, as long as they can hit them. I'm wondering if I need to bring Aero. If I bring Aero, I'm probably swapping it. And if I'm bringing Aero, I really do have to lead Aero or Articuno. I think I actually take Kingdra. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Take the defensive Pokemon and abuse the IV advantage. Let's put this in. I'm definitely not leading Kingdra. The question is going to be, this is the thing I might regret, playing late. I might regret not leading Gardevoir 7. I don't dislike it, but I'd rather put Destiny Bonders in the front. It's a bit easier then to just immediately Destiny Bond on a really bad matchup. Switching into it can sometimes be awkward. Wrong tab. Right, this way, please. Jasper. Entei. Most likely Entei free with Double Edge. Yeah, most likely Entei free with Double Edge. Hey Kazood. Hey Diana. I think I just Water Pulse. It's Water Pulse or Kingdra. A little bit concerned about Entei 1, which is not that likely. But if I switch and it double teams or Carmines and then does the other move, I fail Hydro. Suddenly I'm quite far behind. Yeah, I'll live Fire Blast. I could Icy Wind as well. That's not bad either. Icy Wind and then maybe I can switch. The Kazoo. The Kazooas. Ah, screw it. Let's go Kingdra. It did 15. That's not Entei free. That's a modest Entei damage. I'm scared of Entei 1, but like Entei 1 and 4 really should be double teaming here. There's nothing wrong with getting lucky. Like, do I just try and hit Hydro now? Okay. It's not unthinkable to run out of flail BP as well. Dun, 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 dun. I still think the cleanest way out of this is to just hit Hydro. I do not want to mess around with worrying about crits as I try and intentionally go low for flail. Okay. It's happening then. I guess worst case scenario, I stall this out of its attacks and deal with it the very slow way around. You're scaring me with that crit. Oh, we missed every single attack. Okay, dude. Backup plan time. At least, if I have to use, D-Bond, at least it's not Psychic. I mean, it's not, Fire Spec. I'm wondering if I should be going for another Calm Mind or not here. Since I probably only get one shot at the attempt at Psychic. How many attacks did we miss? Let's just, like... I just want to be sure about this. So we missed 3 Hydro Pumps and 2 Flails. Surely... surely we hit now. Oh... It might have been correct to risk another Psychic there. If I Quick Claw here, do I want to try and hit? I don't think I do. Believe. Believe. Fuck. Oh dear. I guess hopefully it's 2. I would have somewhat real chances against 3 as well, I guess. Do I Ice Beam because of 4? This is interesting because apparently Ice Beam is a roll on 4. Yeah, these are all high risk. The thing is, it's most likely to be double high risk, which is 2 and 4. It's a bit awkward though because 2 has Lumberry. I mean, my attack into 2 doesn't matter because it's going to use Protect. So what do I want to do into Fortress 4? I think Ice Beam. I also want to Ice Beam 1. I think I'd rather Water Pulse Fortress 3 though. I could also, unironically, use Roar to stop explosion. The problem is that the explosion Fortress 4 also has Rock Slide, so if I get hit by Rock Slide, it's kind of over anyway. But Roar would be a nice option against Fortress 3, so it can't explode later. Okay, it is 2. We need the damage. It double protected, so it's guaranteed to protect now. It didn't protect this time. Oh my god, there's no way. I don't have to worry about 2 yet, because it's going to fake out. I just have to use Ice Beam. I am very scared of 4. 4 is going to use Rock Slide, obviously. I'll beat 1 and 3. Because I've got a Lumberry for the Dynamic Punch. Medicham 4 needs to hit a Rock Slide to win. Okay, we would have lived that. That's fine. But it's nice that it killed itself before Focus Band activated. God, what a match. I wonder if I should have stayed in against that Entei. The thing is, it was probably Entei 3, but it turned out to be 1 or 4. Of course, 1 and 4 beat Articuno. Maybe Icy Wind was correct. I don't know. Kingdra's being banished from the team. Thing is, Kingdra 3 is a good Pokemon. Do I just want to put something slightly faster in the back, though? I feel like Entei does not solve my fear into strong physical earthquake, because I think like it makes it a lot worse. No, I think we keep AVBs. I'm gonna get barraged. That's not a move in the Gen 3 Frontier, though. Not this high up, at least. We're not getting the good matchups. Enter now, Regice. I might have to just Destiny on this. Regice 1 would be horrendous, there's no doubt about that. Legit turn 1 Raw. Possibly. I'm just thinking about Gardevoir into all these sets. Thunderwave would be really annoying, actually, because I'm Trace. I'm not Synchronize. Bum 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 bum. Bum bum bum. Regice 2 is obviously slower than me. It's not going to have broken AI on the Rain Dance. Getting hit by T-Bolt, that is only really a risk against 1 and 6, because Regice 3 is very likely to use Thunderwave. And Regice 1 is very likely to use Amnesia. It would be 6, where Raw wouldn't be great, but I think that's only one set, and like Thunderbolt has to crit for it to go very badly. And I wouldn't really want to go Gardevoir on 6 anyway. Yeah, I think this might be a turn 1 Raw. Seriously. Okay. That's going to be a problem later. Okay. Yeah, set 3 would want to Thunderwave me. I do have Lumberry. But that was Regice 5. Regice 5 is counter, so this is not high risk Hariyama. It has to be Hariyama 1 or sorry, it has to be Hariyama 2 or 4. 2 or 4. Because 1 and 3 have counter and facade. And my concern here would be the thick fat ability reducing the damage. If it's not thick fat, I can definitely just Ice Beam. The AI loves speed control. It is one of the most consistent things it does. It does. It doesn't. The speed control AI. It looks at your speed. It doesn't look at your priority of the selected move. I think, technically speaking, the AI has already chosen its move for Hariyama before I select a move. So yeah, I'm wondering if I should just Ice Beam or switch. I feel like Gardevoir is a very big opportunity here. What's a little bit weird is I know it's Regice 5. Regice 5's chance of switching into Gardevoir are kind of up in the air. There's no other fighting type on the team though, which Gardevoir has a good type matchup into, and I guess I probably shouldn't worry too much about that. I should be more focused on this. Like, if I have to switch out Gardevoir because Regice doesn't come out second, I think that's fine. Yeah, because Quick Claw, the Gen 3i cheats to see Quick Claw getting used. Beautiful. So we took... How much did we take? 39? Can Harryhammer 4 do 39 to us? No. It is Harryhammer 2. I'm half thinking about Carmine, but it's very greedy. I could get Quick Claw, Cross Chop, Crit quite easily here. Or on the next turn. Can you explain why this Kingdra is good? It's fine as long as it doesn't miss every move. The problem is the Entei is 3 IVs and Kingdra is 31 IVs. So Kingdra has quite a considerable bulk advantage. I also just don't like fire types. That's the short answer. I don't think fire types are very good. Do I want to see Regice? I guess what I want to see most of all is something switch in that Gardevoir can kill in one shot. That would be ideal. Okay. It is very likely to curse. I think I actually switch and roar. And I try and keep Articuno and Kingdra alive for Regice at the end, so that I can allow them to be killed as Regice sets up Curse, so that it's more likely to use Earthquake against Gardevoir instead of Ice Beam. I either do that or I attack right now because it's quite likely to use Counter. Yeah, that's rough. It's there's a serious consideration for doing both. So fast forward. I tell you what isn't, like, the curse boosts don't matter against Articuno. It might be worth just going for a Will-O-Wisp. I quite like trying to Will-O-Wisp it. What's wrong with just burning it? Nothing is wrong with burning it. The only problem with staying in is that then Articuno might take more damage if I do have to use Roar later. But I think burning it is massive upside as long as I hit the burn. Okay. Yeah, that's... I would like to keep Destiny Bond. I think I am going to switch and use Roar. It's fine. Articuno can't get frozen. It's Ice type. It's frickin' Blissey. Bruh. that was not on the list of things I wanted to switch out. Okay, quick recap on the phrase. So Regice 5 is impossible and high risk, which means that this is not counter Blissey. And Harryhammer 2 does nothing. So this is not counter Blissey. But it can be anything else. I think I need to go Gardevoir. I'm not Synchronize, but I do have Will-O-Wisp. Yeah, Blissey 1 would be horrendous. The other two are fine. Blissey 1 would be... I mean, I might want to sing. I might want to sing first. Ooh. Yes. Okay. Not good news, but I probably only have to hit this once. Okay. Real talk, do I now roar? I am prepared for Blissey, potentially at the end. Like, what does it look like if I roar? Do I go Kingdra? I can't roar because of I can't roar after burning it because of natural cure. But I am considering roar right now. Just to isolate Blissey at the end. I think I might need Kingdra to take damage. Okay. It's awkward because I am risking a potential freeze. So right, I do actual real damage. Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. Uh I had enough. I had enough. I had enough to win. I just needed to not be frozen. I definitely attempt the unfreeze. Oh my god. The problem is that Blissey can set up double teams and then it can dodge flail. I am decently likely to unfreeze at least. Ah, oh, come on, bro. Just please. Come on, just the AI is burned, so Earthquake doesn't do very much damage essentially. Oh my god, what do I do? Do I stay in? Like, I can't believe I'm in this situation. Perhaps I should have switched to Gardevoir on that turn. Keep gambling because we've been frozen for so long. So surely we become more and more likely to unfreeze. Oh my god, I have to make the decision right now. Because it's either correct to stay in or it's correct to go Will-O-Wisp. It's not correct to stay in for like 3 turns and then go and try and burn it. Can I sort this out of toxics? Let me double check the priority on the. It's -10. Soft-boiled is -11, right? Yes. No, it's not. Crap. It's minus. It's only -3. The problem with toxic. I mean, if it runs out of toxic, particularly if I can get some toxic hits on Articuno, which has Lumberry and has pressure, like that would be huge. I probably can. I will have to hit Will-O-Wisp. That is definitely true. It is going to run out of softballs before double teams. I think the stall out with Gardevoir Articuno is indeed possible. Because Articuno can definitely come in on some toxics. Yeah. So I'm just thinking like I go Gardevoir and I switch to Articuno. I can take 1 toxic. Actually, I probably want to just go straight to Articuno. You can guard Kingdra and back. I do agree that it's probably better to try and win that way. It's it's trace, not synchronize. It's trace. I think that is probably better. Because if I stay in here, nah, I'm actually going to switch. It is the final Pokemon. Natural Cure can only trigger on sleep. So this is safe because when it has a useless move against Kingdra, it's going to use Soft Boiled, not Toxic. Like, do I actually want to be risking? Do I want to be trying to Will-O-Wisp now? Okay, that is probably GG. I think this is actually a lot safer. I think even if Kindred was dead, I think this was probably guaranteed. I don't know. Semi-drunk, semi-tired. What a bizarre game. With Raw on turn 1. I mean, it was better to just stay in and murder them, obviously. So would we have fought out? Apparently not. The fear on that game was if it goes to struggle. What a bizarre game. With the Regice lead that we roared, Hariyama came in. God, that was such a weird game. And then we missed the burn on... We missed the burn on Regice. No, we hit Regice. We missed the burn on Blissey. If it had been Serene Grace Blissey, it was quite a bit easier to win, I guess. Right, do I want to take Blissey myself? I'm a little bit nervous about the big physical attackers. I've said that already, but I am genuinely quite concerned. And that's kind of why Kingdra's on the team. I don't think I'm a believer in minus speed, free IV Regice. Counter Regice is nice, though. I'm probably not taking that. My gut feeling is no swap. Yeah, Kingdra has choked so hard. Yeah, there were a lot of variants of that, how that game could have gone. Oh. How long was that freeze? Because was that a 13 turn freeze or something against... No, it wasn't that long. It was like 11, I think, against Regice. Listen, the team hasn't lost yet, and therefore it has a 100% win rate, and therefore it is perfect. Xatu. It's high risk Xatu. That doesn't tell me anything. Da-da-da. I don't think I'm ever... Cool. See you, Dave. Thank you for your input. I don't think I'm ever going to try and set up Kingdra here. So, probably just kill it. Now, that is quite a switch in. Are you about to get the rock slide flinch? Are you a villain? I always knew Dugtrio was a hero instead of a villain. Doug 4 activates high risk on its own. So this can be any Armaldo set. Dugtrio 1. God, this was a terrible team. Armaldo 1, Dugtrio, and Xatu. What a team that is. That's just... if you're talking about Dugtrio, it's soft sand. It's not bright powder. High risk. Bum, 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 bum. This is a high-level battle. Brooks. The Plumer. Give me a reason not to do it. Too late. Oh my god. Oh, that is very high up on the big, big risks. Starting down. I'm considering going Gardevoir. Grass, Poison, Flying Rock. I'm big time considering going Gardevoir and Destiny Bonding. This is terrifying. I really hope it's Aero 4. I think I have to stay in. What's terrible about this is the fact that after a Dragon Dance, Kingdra speed ties Aero 1 and 2. So, that is so cursed. It's fine. The item sprites are not very clear. Like, it's fine. I just thought it was better than putting the item text in. That is Aero 1 or 2, unfortunately. And it is probably Aero 2. So it's probably choice band locked now. Down, 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 down. I don't know how I feel about going Kingdra. I'm so scared of Ancient Power Boost before Kingdra attacks. I could Dragon Dance and it could Ancient Power Boost, and then I'm not actually even speed trying it anymore. And if it Ancient Power Boost, I don't kill with Hydro. I could just I could just Destiny Bond. Put the match in the hands. Put the match in the hands of Kingdra. That's just I don't know why. I would normally be okay doing that with Kingdra free, but for some reason I'm scared of doing that right now. It's probably best to just go Kingdra. Like, the only truly bad scenario is boost into miss. And even then I have to miss again. And then God of Arkham Revenge. Oh, I don't know. I can try and go for Wisp, but if Wisp misses and it's Aero 2, I have to then debond. And then it is the Kingdra 1v1. A problem about these games is you can't be too scared. It's okay to debond, like, if it's a big problem, you can't deal with it. It is okay to debond, but like, debonding an Aerodactyl when I can just kill it with Hydro Pump is a little bit silly. Like, in the pursuit of trying to be too safe, you end up just blundering away your advantage. My advantage here is that I can just kill Aerodactyl right now as long as I don't miss. Yeah, that's banned damage. Oh, sorry, yeah. Final Mon Destiny Bond. for the tie is a loss. Yeah. It's high risk Arcanine, so there's no sunny day. I think I just Hydro. I definitely don't want to use Dragon Dance because of extreme speed being an option for Arcanine anyway. It is Flash Fire, that is true. Which is good for Gardevoir, but I'm too high level. I'm too high in level. It's kind of rude to say that. We are both playing at level 50. Although it is true that my Pokemon are much better. High risk. So we have our first real consideration, which is to take Aerodactyl 2. Aerodactyl 2 is really good. The problem with taking Aerodactyl 2 is it has a lot of the same weaknesses as Articuno. Yeah, in Dome you win if it's a tie, if you're the higher seed. Kingdra did something. So yeah, if I was going to swap for for Aerodactyl, I'd probably have to get rid of Articuno. And I mean, maybe Aerodactyl 2 is better than Articuno 1. I feel like it's probably not, though. Not with the IV advantage on Articuno. The one thing Aerodactyl does have is big speed. Is much faster. Ba-da-da-ba. Oh, let's believe. It's high risk. High risk. Okay. All of the Miltanks are high risk, but Miltank 1 is more high risk. It's got 2 high risk moves. I could actually Roar. I'm seriously considering Roar because Fig Fat is not a good matchup for Articuno. And I don't really want to mess around with Miltank 4 here. No, the Frontier just uses basic and smart AI. Or expert AI, or whatever people call it. Milk drink is high risk because you can choke while drinking. I'm quite seriously considering using Raw. It might be best to wait and see what it is first, though. On the other hand, I don't really want to wait for Miltank 4 to use Curse or Double Team. Add that to the side. I think I'm going to Roar. I'm officially spooked by Miltank 4. Okay, it's Miltank 2. So that's leftovers. Well, there's a lot of things going on again here with potentially tracing Volt Absorb. I might... Okay, hold on, let's think a bit about the Miltank first. I'm fine against Miltank 2, really. Like, Thunderwave is annoying, but I am fine against it. It is female, so it has the right attract against Kingdra. Okay. So this is probably Lantern 2, because that is high risk with Flail. I think I switch. Thing is, Articuno might be a bit useless. If I'm not using it against Lantern and I'm not using it against Miltank, what am I using it against? I'm actually hoping it's Volt Absorb. Illuminate. Dum, bum, bum, ba-dum. Is there always random ability? I'm weighing up whether or not I want to go for Calm Mind, Surf, or Destiny Bond. There's a reason to do all of them. It's safest by far to just Destiny Bond, though. I'm worried about Bright Powder. Gardevoir goes down. Articuno and Kingdra do have to build Miltank and another Pokemon, though. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because Kingdra can easily be hacked out of the game. What's evil about this is it can also go for Confuse Ray. Oh, God. Yeah, so the factory tier list I made, some Pokemon go up or down depending on what their ability is. I try to average it out, but it is difficult. There are some Pokemon which are... There's quite a dramatic difference on whether or not they got the right ability. Like some of the Porygon Z sets really, really want download or adaptability. I'm feeling Calm Mind. Because if I hit Calm Mind and Psychic, I can then kill it with Water Pulse. In Rain, maybe. But definitely Hydro Pump. Calm Mind, Psychic Ice Beam. I'm risking Bright Powder a little bit, but we'll see. I Quick Clawed. Got a miss. That's good. I do kill at +2, but I'm going to attack now for safety reasons. Okay. Oh my god, man. Only one good way to win now. I'm getting so screwed in this round. Actually quite funny. I was actually kind of hoping it wouldn't. I was really hoping it wouldn't rain dance, actually. That's it. Okay, good. Please don't get paralyzed. 13, is that enough? It probably is, right? I don't want to endure flail because I then have to hit 2 moves through confusion. Bum, bum. That is huge. Now, Miltank sees a kill with Focus Punch and Shadow Ball. I'm on the max confusion turns anyway right now. Confusion can't last more than 4 turns. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. I always win. I always win. Jesus. Okay, so apparently this team is every single game someone chokes really badly, but then someone else clutches really hard. That is insane. I'm quite scared of normal type as a type spec. Problem is that Miltank 2, isn't it, against normal? It's only got Focus Punch. I don't want to use Thunder, Hydro Pump, Lantern, and I've got no idea what that Dug Trio even was. It was high risk, wasn't it? That doesn't narrow it down very much. Do, 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 do. That is correct. Dug Trio is not actually a real Pokemon. It's just something you can catch at level 30 to beat Surge. Right, I'm not taking those. I'm thinking a little bit about Miltank, but I just think I can't justify it. If I lose, I'll study for school. Who's this? Jackson? No, it's Logan. It's not Clef 1, because that's impossible. We believe in Artie, it's fine. We believe. It's the evil Clef, Clef 2. Follow me and then I miss. Yep, classic. Bruh. Yeah, save PP on Ice Beam. This is insulting. This is just insulting. uh. Okay, it's a bit less likely to be Heracross 1 and 4, I guess, but Heracross 3 is the one with the super effective attack, which is the one that wants to switch in the most. Oh, I'm not good into 3. It's probably always Icy Wind. I'm quite scared of the last normal type in the back. It was Focus Band. I think Icy Wind is fine against Heracross 1, right? I think that's fine, because I can just follow up with Ice Beam, and even if Articuno dies, that's whatever. And Icy Wind is an actively good idea into Heracross 4. I think it's always Icy Wind. Okay, we hit. That is important. And that is Heracross 3. So once again, we can use Destiny Bond so we don't miss Bright Powder. However, if we do that, it's a 1v1 with Kingdra. And Kingdra clutched last game, so I feel like Kingdra might choke this game. Like, on the alternating scale. If we hit Psychic, on the other hand, we still have Destiny Bond in hand and probably easily win. Even if I miss Psychic, I can still go for the Dragon Dance Flail stuff. It just isn't very attractive. It might have to be... It might have to be a Mega Horn miss in that case. Oh yeah, we've got guts. Thank fuck. Exploud, but it's not high risk. But Heracross 3 is in high risk anyway. Okay. What is the worst thing that could happen here? Mega Kick crit. Kingdra will always beat Exploud 4 though. I guess the worst thing that can actually happen is Ice Beam freeze. Okay. No thanks, I'm going to sleep. Classic Logan. Oh no, no, I don't like that. High risk, electric. Well, that's a little bit scary. This is definitely final boss type stuff. Okay, so let's think. High risk electric. Obviously, explosion electrode is a big one. There's a few focus punches which aren't big scares. There is actually Lantern 2. Oh yeah, and Raichu. Raichu has a reversal set. Bum, bum. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum. It could also just be a high-risk Pokemon and then 2 regular electrics. That is always possible. I'm wondering if I drop Artie. Because that was a Guts Heracross free. Which is a bit tempting. Bum, 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 bum. RT1 for Herafree for the Earthquake. The only thing that scares me about that is Zapdos. I want RT1 for Zapdos, definitely. I mean, Heracross 3 does have Rock Slide, but like lol. Kingdra is okay into Zapdos. It is unlikely to be Zapdos with high risk there, and it is unlikely to be a Zapdos lead, which is where I would really appreciate Articuno. Let's do the obvious thing. I'm getting tired and I don't really trust myself. Let's just take the Earthquaker. I'm sorry, Artie. Heracrod free. Heracrod free. But Articuno is legendary. It's fine. Please just send out. Please send out Ampharos or Electabuzz. Manectric also fine. Just don't send out Zapdos. Okay. Like we said, it is probably Lantern 2. I would switch if Zapdos did come out. I would switch, but I would be upset with hindsight that I got rid of Articuno. But no, I think we just Earthquake the Lantern that can survive. Well, Lantern 3 has a Bright Powder. The Lantern that can survive is Lantern 1, and we know from the last match that we're Guts. We traced Guts. Ba-ba-ba-bum. That was not Lantern 1. Mr. Raikou. That is so at level 100. There's Raikou 5, which has double edge, but at level 50, I don't think there's anything that has high risk. So the final Pokemon is definitely high risk. Good to know. It might have to be double high risk if that wasn't Lantern 2. Anyway, we definitely Earthquake. Is Raikou 2. Weather glitch. Raikou. Please send out something rubbish. Yeah, level 100 have slightly more sets. Slightly more sets for the legendaries. And then they also have Dragonites and Tyranitar. Give me a reason not to use Brick Break. I am aware of Miltank free. It could be Miltank free. I guess Miltank 1 maybe. But Miltank 1 I just beat it unless it gets infinite focus bands. Heracross worked out, but it could have backfired if this had been a Zapdos trainer. No focus band. Right, there were some crazy games there. I'm still recovering from the Regis Blissey Hariyama game. That was wild. Okay, so now that we're alternating between 50 and 100, I think next stream we'll do 100, 91 to 105, unless I lose. Was a bit stressful. That was a weird team. A very weird team. It wasn't a bad team, but it was just a weird team. The confusion self-hits scared me. The freeze scared me. All of those misses against Entei scared me. But we managed to not get unlucky enough to lose. That's basically how I would put it. I didn't stream for very long, but I'm kind of tired. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see if there's anyone to raid. I do have a regular schedule. I normally stream on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday morning. This is Saturday evening for me. I often also do random streams. I'm probably going to be streaming tomorrow at some point. Is Xarian still live? No. I can't find anyone to raid. All alone. I don't have enough friends on Twitch. Need to be smooching up to bigger streamers, begging for views. Not really, though, because I don't think I have the second-hand social shame to do that. Cool. No one playing Factory. Yeah, I'll be live tomorrow, guys. Thanks for watching. Be live tomorrow with some more Factory. See you later.